With my big old C4 energy drink in the way.
That's all right. Good times, I tell you, good times.
I wish I could figure out how to eat you more and buy TikTok though. Oh yeah, there you go. Why is it automatically like zoom differently when you actually hit the live
What is your problem? Can you get both seats in?
So where you're sitting now, we're good.
Okay.
Hello, Mama Bear. We're about to do a live podcast. We haven't done anything like this yet, so we thought we'd have some fun. Heather, entertain them for a minute.
Now Brad's leaving. We'll be back. Hello. Hi. Not going to be super hyper focused on the comments once he starts, but I'm so excited to bring him in and talk to him about his craziness. So I'm just waiting for him to come back, and then we will get started. So what I'm doing is recording a podcast, and we just figured we would hit a live so you have some little behind the scenes action. So
Yeah, because we love you guys so much.
Aww, shucks.
All right.
Do you ever have that moment where you're gonna start and you're like, thank God for editing? Hello, my friends. Welcome back. I know it has been a hot minute since I have uploaded a podcast, but here we are, and I'm excited. I've got Brad, my buddy, Nu-Age Paranormal, here to talk to me and give us some really cool insight on going into some state hospitals. They were all over the country, and they did not have the best reputation as far as treatment. Some that you might be familiar with, some big ones would be, what is it? There's Penhurst is definitely one I think that a lot of people know. Waverly was a sanatorium though. Wasn't really a state hospital. That was more tuberculosis.
So more like children and stuff like that?
I think there were children.
No, I didn't know if you were going more like state hospitals for like the feeble-minded or back in the day. So like Walter E. Fernald, right? In
Oh,
Boston.
Fernald, yeah, definitely.
Metropolitan State Hospital.
Can you lift your mic a little bit? Yeah, loosen that up. It's all right. This is where editing is fantastic. A little closer to your mouth so we can hear you well. Just don't spit on the microphone. Gotta tighten her up.
We did sound check. We didn't do this part.
We didn't, yeah. So we're total rookies here. There we go. Get in there.
Good?
Get in there. Oh my God. So all of these state hospitals, anyways, they were everywhere. And one of the ones that we are going to be talking about is in Connecticut, right?
Yes.
So it's in Connecticut.
Mansfield, Connecticut.
Mansfield Training School and Hospital. So I've got a little super trusty Wikipedia information here. So if some of these dates are a little off, don't come for us. So this school ran from 1860 to 1993, and that's generally in the early 90s is when they all started shutting down. So this school was known as a few different things here. So we've got Mansfield Training School and Hospital, and it initially opened in 1860 as the Connecticut School for Imbeciles at Lakeville, which is such a wonderful name. Its name was changed to the Connecticut Training School for the Feeble-Minded, of course, not much better, in 1915. 2 years later, it merged with the Connecticut Colony for Epileptics, which I always find fascinating that they group epileptics in with, mental health issues. So Yeah. So that is my story. That's my intro to
That's how big
to
chat.
that's my big chat. So the rest of it is all Brad.
Alright, yay. So, the first time I ever went to this one, I was actually alone, and it was really creepy, and I had no backstory. All I knew was it was a state hospital for kids and adults that were mentally disabled, and that's all I knew. So, but I could feel the energy there. Like, it felt like a dark, dark place, like, not good. And then I ended up going back with my cousin Nick. We got some spooky stuff there, like REM pods, disembodied voices. We were the only ones in a certain building, because there's a few buildings that were still up at the time. I don't know what's left now, because I haven't been in over a year, but...
Yeah, that thing said it was huge. It was like 350 acres or something like that.
Oh, yeah, because
The initial.
there was, yeah, so the main one that everybody urbexes at, it's all part of Yukon now, so there's college kids there, college, patrol there, make sure no one's trespassing, and if you actually go down the hill past where they kind of set up a few buildings into the DPW, there's 3 or 4 buildings actually still standing that were the original one before the big merger. So the one that everybody urbexes in is essentially the one they closed as when it was Mansfield Training School. The one down below is even creepier, I'll tell you that. But so we got some good stuff, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back alone again, and I actually was proud of myself for as long as I lasted, because I ended up going into like basically one of the housing buildings where they would have actually had their rooms and slept and stuff, and I was having doors slam on me, cabinet, because there was still like some furniture around. You could hear like stuff clacking. It was nuts. I ended up actually going on Facebook Live after like 1 or 2 of them. So I was like, if I'm gonna die, at least you guys got to see it, because holy shit, this is getting creepy. And as soon as I started live though, nothing happened, but the people watching the Facebook Live I was reading the comments as I was doing the live, and they're like, oh, I just heard a voice, I'm like, what the hell, I didn't hear it, so at least you guys got to, which I ended up catching them, because I did have my normal camera going too, which is good. And I left, and then I went to the main hospital, and it just felt really bad, like, not scary, like, you could feel this creepy, someone's like heavily watching you and like going to attack you. So I ended up actually leaving. I actually trusted myself for once when I got that feeling and left. And that was the first time I went alone. Second time I went alone, about the same thing. Is just stuff slamming on you. This is a very, very active place. So that's already now like trip 3 or 4. And then after that, I was on at home one night. I love to watch paranormal shows. I mean, it's not as good as going out and experiencing it yourself, but I like to watch them for history of locations, getting ideas of new places to try to go down the road. And I came across like a B-rated paranormal, My House is Haunted type show where they do the reenactments. And I saw one called Mansfield, and I'm like, this can't be the same one. Sure as shit, it's the same school. This lady bought and lives in the house that belonged to the dean of students when that hospital was up and running. And it really opened up my eyes to that place, because they were doing investigating in the house. She's getting all kinds of EVPs and spirit box chatter of rape, murder. They found bones in her basement. Secret passes. It used to be a tunnel that would go from his house to the school. It was bad. I'm like, oh god. What do? I go again alone. But this time was a little different. So last year, 2021, January 5th, my uncle, that was my godfather, passed away 4 days prior to my birthday, because my birthday is January 9th. And was like, I can't be sad on my birthday. That's not what you would want. You would want me to go out doing what I love to do. And I had a thing for Mansfield, so I went alone. And that's basically paranormal 101. You never go when your head's messed up or cloudy or angry, because you're basically more prone to allowing yourself to get an attachment.
So you just keep doing it over and over.
Luckily, I don't go when I'm pissed off anymore. If I'm pissed off, I will not go anywhere, because I learned this one time it really does happen, and this shit really is real. At the time, I didn't think anything of it. It was, like I said, it was my birthday. Like, I'm sad or whatever. But I basically went out as one big hoorah. It's like, this is for you, Uncle. This is what I do. You're in the spirit world now. I know you're there with me, so you get to literally see what I do, kind of in person, but you're there with me spiritually. And I didn't go long because it's January. It was like maybe 18 degrees outside, so it was cold. I was there probably for a good hour and a half, and I recorded some videos that I threw up on TikTok, and one video actually basically went semi-viral, went almost 700,000 views. It got me from like 50 followers to 10,000 followers.
Dang.
Within like 3 days. I'm like, oh my god, this is the best birthday
Is this
present
that
ever.
the piano when you were playing the piano there?
Yeah,
Is
I'm
that
playing
that
the
one?
piano, and then the REM pod randomly goes off, and I kind of jump. I'm like, oh shit, I'm like, that really just happened. That was cool. And
Or you're just really bad at playing the piano and they just wanted you to stop?
yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I have no piano skills, but music does
Sure.
always seem to spark up the activity. So regardless if it's good or bad, it's a form of energy for the spirit. So I was like,
Sure.
kind of, that's all I know. And I felt fine. I really did. And then I noticed over the next few months, like I had a bad history, like when I was younger, being like depressed, suicidal, but I outgrew it. I got better, and out of nowhere, it's just starting to hit me again. Like I'd go to work, I'd be fine. I mean, I'd be a little cranky because I wasn't sleeping good and whatnot. But I'd go home, and as soon as I got home, I'd sit on my computer, I'd start editing or whatever. It's just, I felt sad, I felt depressed. Even though I'm doing everything I love, and I wanted to like kill myself, I'm like, all right. I just thought like something, like my anxiety was basically kicking back in. And then I meet this girl Nikki that I'm friends with. You've met Nikki.
Yep.
And actually, one of the first times we ever met in person to do an explore was Mansfield. We got lots of cool activity there. Like, I have never seen REM pods go off as much as this place. Like, this place is nuts with REM pods. There was one point where like my REM pod went off for like 10 minutes straight, and I'd start talking, like asking questions, and it'd be like chirp, 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 chirp. Stop. I'd ask another question or say something else. Chirp, chirp, chirp. It was nuts. It was like 10 minutes straight of this. I've never seen any location with REM pods like this. And again, like I'm out, I'm doing what I love, so I feel fine. But as soon as I get home, the depression kicks in. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then, so that was January when I went and did that first visit. And I think it was around June time. My wife Kaylin was on FaceTime with our friend Marsha, who's a medium. And they're on the couch in the living room, facing towards my game room, which is not my kids' room, but at the time it was my room. It was like a little room I had, like my computer set up, my own little sanctuary. That's why I did the video editing, and that's where my attachment was basically hiding, because it was attached to me. And she picked up on him. She's like, there's something in that room. I can feel it, I can feel it. And Kane was like, that's funny that you say that, because a week prior she had gone in the room to talk to me while I was on the computer, and she's like, I don't like the energy in this room. You brought something home. I'm like, I haven't been out in like weeks. What the hell? How would I have brought something home? Like, I haven't even been going anywhere. So this guy, this spirit is hiding himself really freaking good because she's gone in my room. I can't tell you how many times. And she finally picked up on him. And that's 6 months later now. It's now June. And I'm like, all right, what's going on? Where did I get this attachment from? So now I'm like going through my head, like all the places I've been. I'm like, what felt different? What felt off? And I was like, I couldn't think of anything. So even though they all have like their own energy, their own imprints, their own creepy factor, there was none that really stood out to me. Now it's July, and I'm starting to feel it. I'm like, all right, there really is something around in my room. There's gotta be. I never really like followed through with trying to figure it out. I just kind of brushed it off of like, no, I do everything I'm supposed to do. I sage myself, I ground myself, I use protection like crystals when I go out. I was like, I do everything. There's no way I got an attachment. Me and Nikki go back to Mansfield, and there's like this creepy little music box in one of the wings of the hospital I've never seen before, and it was really creepy. I'm like, oh, this would make a perfect REM pod or some kind of paranormal equipment. I was like, I'll attach like a little sensor to it so when it cranks or someone goes by, it'll set off the crank, it'll play music by itself. I was like, this is great. So I do another thing you're not really supposed to be doing when you go to places. I brought stuff home from a location.
Mm. So we're checking all these. Okay, so this is
I'm
a
a
do,
freaking
a do
rule
not.
Yeah, don't go when you're depressed. Don't bring shit home. I'm just a rule breaker. I don't follow rules.
Don't go alone.
Don't go alone.
That's what that one stresses me out when people do that because you never know what you're gonna bump into.
I at least tell
Alive.
people where I'm going. I do have first aid kits, some waters. So
Alright.
if something happens, at least you know where to look for my body. Anyways.
Awesome.
I bring the music box home and I go right in my room. I put it next to my kid's picture because Brandon made me this really nice picture for Father's Day, and I put it right next to it. And I go in the kitchen. I'm making a sandwich. Brandon, he's my older kid. Jackson's my younger one. They're in the living room. They're watching TV. They're playing video games or whatever. I just hear smash. So instantly, I don't think it was from my room. I'm like freaking out on them. Like, what the hell did you guys just prick? I go in there and they're both looking at me like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, oh, great. I go in my room and the picture that was next to my kid's music box is thrown like halfway across my game room. It wasn't just like it just fell off where it was hanging. It was literally halfway across my game room and smashed. I'm like, crap. I tell the wife, she was pissed.
Oh, I can only imagine.
She's like, you fucking bring that back right now. I'm like, I'm not going alone. Like, after what I just saw happen, I was like, I'm not going alone. I was like, I'll bring it to work, I'll put it in my car, and I'll make someone from work go with me after work, which I did. The next day, I made this kid that was working with me go, I was like, hey, Corey, you always want to go out, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, I got to bring this back to a really hot hospital. You're going with me. He's like, okay. No questions asked. He was just super excited to go. And I gave him a tour. I was like, if we're gonna go and drop this off, I'm gonna at least give you, I'll show you around, like actually try to do some paranormal with you. So we went into the basement. We checked out the X-ray room. We're hearing disembodied voices and stuff. So it was really cool. This place is always very active. And I was like, all right, dude, time to go drop this music box off because it's getting late. I don't want to be here. It's getting dark. Let's just go drop it off. So he dropped the music box off. I actually put it right back where I found it from. So that was another thing I heard. If you take something, if you're gonna bring it back, put it right back to where you found it from, which I did. And I apologized the whole way out of this place. I was like, I'm sorry for taking the music box. I'm sorry because I really thought that's what had happened. And I thought it was the music box. So I was sad because I didn't want to let the music box go. You know, I'm like, you'll find another one. You can make it to a REM pod. Just bring this one back. I'm like, okay. So I had to do it, and I was sad about it, but I did it. So I thought I made things right. Now it's almost August, and I am getting really into the whole spirituality and stuff like that. So it's full moon. I set all my candles, I got some incense burning, and I'm doing manifesting. Yeah, and I got my eyes closed, I can see my white light because I'm going in my deep state, I'm calm, I'm relaxed, and out of nowhere, like he's right in my face, and it gives me goosebumps right now thinking about it. I can see this guy, he had a beard, a scrawny looking face, dark hair, he was probably about 50 to 60 years old, and didn't say anything, just gave me this really stern look. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So I open my eyes up and I'm looking around my room like this. Someone's just sneaking in my room and fucking with me. Nope, nothing there. But then I notice my back starts burning. I'm like, ugh, gosh. So I was like, whatever. It can't. It's just my head. I'm getting in my own head right now because, like I said, I don't know why, but I was randomly going through my depression stage again and stuff like that. So I thought it was just my depression messing with me because it's a full moon. I'm trying to manifest happiness, and it didn't like it, so I was seeing bad things. Close my eyes, calm down again, and again, this dude face to face with me, like he wants to go toe to toe, and I'm like, what the hell? So I open my eyes, and my back starts burning even more. I was like, all right, I'm done. I was like, there's something stopping me right now from doing what I want to do. I was like, I blew out my candles, I let the incense burn out, and then I went to take a shower. I look in the shower. I mean, so now I'm in the bathroom because I'm about to shower. I take my shirt off, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna look because my back's still burning really bad. There's 6 scratches on my back, 6. I'm like, what the hell? I instantly text Marshall. I was like, yep, you were right. There's definitely someone. There's someone in here. I was like, yeah, I need you to get the hell out. Like, I just got scratched and everything. And I didn't want to tell Caitlin at first because I didn't want her to worry because it's late at night. I figured I'd just wait till the next morning and tell her, which I did. I was like, yep, you guys are right. There's someone here. He attacked me last night. She's like, what do you mean he attacked you? So I told her about the scratches. Because, like I said, I don't want to. She was already sleeping. I didn't want to wake her up and have her freaking out if it's late. And I didn't take pictures because it's kind of hard to like get the angle because they were like right in the middle of my back. And I'm fat, so I wasn't taking selfies in the mirror, showing everybody my tits. And she's like, all right. So Marsha ended up coming over, and we did house cleansing. We do have haunted objects in the house. I do have a couple dolls that are haunted. I have a cigar box that's haunted. And when I say haunted, it's not like they go moving shit around my house. It's these objects were very loved by the people that owned them when they were alive, that they have their energy imprints on them. So yeah, we can kind of talk to them like through meditation and stuff, but it's not like we can sit and have a conversation like it's not like a different level of haunted. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I do. I do.
It basically like enchanted items.
Sure.
Because I do have dolls that I took home from Fernald. See, I break rules. And they actually have some energy of the boys. I wanted to have school attached to them, and we did set ground rules to the kids, like, you know, you can do whatever you want while you're here, but do not go messing with my kids. Like, my kids are my kids. You guys are kids of your own. You want to play video games or whatever, I don't care. Just leave my kids alone. Let them sleep when it's sleepy time. Blah blah blah. They respect it, so we haven't tried to get rid of them. The cigar box. It has the energy of an older man because he built this. It was a box that he built for someone that he really loved, and it looks like he had gone away for a while because there's like a whole inscription from her to him to her in it. So he's attached to that box, and yes, if I put any other objects that have like energy attached to them too close to it, he does get pissy, and he will let us know. So we have the ground rules where, because I bought it at the flea market. I bought this from a flea market. I was going to turn it into a REM pod. Kayla found it. She's like, oh, I can make a cool REM pod. And as soon as we started touching it, we got the guy's energy and got his impressions. So we're like, all right, these are the ground rules. I'm going to protect your box, and you're just going to leave us alone. So it just sits in my room up on a shelf by itself. It's got its own spot. I let him have his space, and I'm basically preserving the box for him. So back to Marsha coming over cleansing, because our goal was to get rid of this bad attachment, not all the other attachments of our object in the house. So as we went room to room, we basically had to relocate all the objects, because we didn't want to get rid of these spirits, because they've actually been respecting our boundaries, have been good, they've been listening. Sorry, I throw that a little scratchy dry.
That's okay, we can edit that right out.
Say goes from your basement.
Don't say that.
So yeah, because if you go to cleanse a house, or you go to cleanse something, if there's actually spirits that you do want around, this shit will hurt them, because it's basically a way to like forcefully kick them out of your house. So we do room to room to room to room, and we saved my room for last, because that's where he hid. He hid in my closet, waiting for me to just come home and basically drain the shit out of my energy. That's all he wanted was energy. Because Martin ended up basically being a spirit medium, talking to him. He's like, yep, I just want energy, and he was very vulnerable, and I took advantage of it. And she actually did get him to leave. She told him about Webster Lake, because I live close to Webster Lake, and water is like one of the best forms of energy, especially for spirits. So she basically told him how to get to the lake, and it actually worked. She was hoping it would work, because I mean, she could have gone more like hardcore to get rid of him if she had to, but we didn't have to. He actually was like, all right, and left. And it was honestly the worst 8 months of my life in the longest time. Just the constant state of depression, the suicidal thoughts, it was awful.
There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
A lot to unpack.
Like I would watch these shows all the time. I'm like, nah. I know spirits are real. I know ghosts are real. There's no ands or buts about it. But I'm like, there's no way like it can get that serious. Like I was like, I've seen stuff get thrown around a house or whatever, but like physically with the person, I honestly thought half that stuff was just made up to build the stories for like the TV shows. Like, oh yeah, I got scratched, whatever. Nope.
No, that happens.
It is very real, especially again if you go the way you shouldn't be going, alone, depressed. Like, I literally broke 3 rules that day and paid bad prices for it.
So, I've heard bits and pieces of this over the time that we've been friends, and you've told me about it, but I don't think I've ever sat down and listened to the whole thing, start to finish. So it's interesting, and now I have questions.
Oh boy.
Because, well, first, do you think the spirit that you had to bring that music box back, do you think that was somebody different?
So what I think honestly happened is there was probably some energy attached to that box, and my attachment was already in my house. So here I am bringing more energy from the same place here, and I think he got territorial, and it was big, a clash of energy. Because even though they're from the same places, because when I was holding that box, I actually had more of the impressions of like a child. I didn't feel bad from it. I didn't feel like I felt like a kid holding the box. So I honestly think it was just him getting territorial. Because as soon as I brought that music box back, it stopped for a while, and it didn't start again until Marsha picked up on him, Galen picked up on him, and that's when he was like, all right, you guys know I'm here now, there's no reason to hide. Because that's when I saw him and got scratched. And I totally forgot too, before the full moon manifestation, I do like to meditate once in a while, and there was one time, King was like, you need to figure this out, you need to find out who's here, where he came from. And spirits will talk to you in which you can relate and make it make sense. I am a huge Spider-Man fan, so I love Venom. I have Venom and Carnage tattooed on both my legs. And he showed himself basically as Venom overtaking my body, showing me that's what he wanted, was basically to take over me.
Lovely.
No. It was usually basically my favorite like cartoon character to scare the living hell out of me. No.
Wow. All right. And yet you still go into it. You'll still now. Would you go back there again?
Knowing what I've learned, I actually no, because the last time I went there, cops did show up and we did get caught because that area is very popular with urbex. So that one is kind of like heavily patrolled. You can get lucky if you're in the right spot, right time, and get into a few buildings, pop out, and be fine. But going full, I won't go breaking into places just to break into places. I go literally just to talk to the spirits and get basically their side of the story. I have no other reason. I mean, it's cool getting pictures here and there while you're there, but my main goal of going into these places isn't to break shit. It's not to take cool pictures and just brag about being there. It's literally to let any spirits of these locations that want to talk and tell their story, tell their story. That's why I try to get like the EVPs, the spirit box sessions. That's my main goal when I go to these places. So.
Well, it sounds like you got EVPs too, but you didn't hear them initially on the Facebook Live. If they were, so you must have had
Oh, I have so many.
tons of people talking to you because, well, if you're people that were watching it, they were hearing it and you weren't, right?
Right.
So it's going through the phone and they were hearing like a real-time EVP.
I swear to God, I'm a ghost magnet.
You are a ghost magnet. Oh.
But so I kind of I would go back to that one, but I kind of want to just leave that one laid to rest and just like a story. It's more just I basically did my time with that one essentially.
Alright.
I've been there like I don't know 10 times and gotten a lot of cool EVPs, stuff through spare boxes, and a pod interaction. And I don't want to like overdo it either, so I'm just gonna call it even with that one.
That's fair. That's fair. I will admit, if I did go, it would be for me. The photography would be the draw. As much as I love the paranormal, and could investigate all day, every day, I love photography. That's another thing that I have always just been drawn to. But
Oh, I've even taken my kids there with my mother-in-law. We did like a family photo shoots there and stuff. We didn't go investigate them. We did just go to.
Wait a minute. So you brought your kids and your mother-in-law to a place where you got an attachment.
I didn't know about the. This was still within the 8 months.
Oh, okay.
So like I got it in January. We went like springtime. Actually, no. When I took them was prior. It was the fall prior because I started going to this place. I think like September of 2020ish, like right towards the end of 2020.
Okay.
2021 when my uncle passed and I got the attachment. So this was like right prior to winter time.
Okay. All right. I was gonna say, man, you're nuts. But
I mean, I'm crazy, but I would not bring my kids
you
to a
wouldn't put
place
your kids,
in that
in
situation.
jeopardy. Absolutely, especially with you just talking about the boundaries that you were setting.
Well, they don't know that stuff
With
yet
the
either.
kids.
They're little, so
True.
to them, it's gonna be just their imagination, quote unquote, which would really be a spirit, but to them it's an overactive imagination. They wouldn't fully know how to process it. At least as adults, we're like, there probably is someone here with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's a tough.
So it'd probably be scarier for kids. So I definitely wouldn't want to put them in that situation.
Yeah, that would be a tough line to do too, because you don't want to. If it is something real, you don't want to tell them it's just their imagination, but you don't want to scare them either.
Like my kids
So-
know this stuff's real. They watch.
Oh well,
me
they
and
see you do it, yeah.
They watch. Jackson will watch Ghost Brothers and Destination Fear with me, so they know it's real. And Jackson says when he gets older, he wants to go. Brandon, he's not about it.
That's my boys are the same way. So obviously they're older than yours, but my oldest, he's almost 17. He has zero interest in it. And I think, and I almost wonder too, because he's also on the spectrum. So I almost wonder. So he's very black and white, right? You know, they don't like that gray and theory and stuff. It's nope, hard facts, end of story. And I think that paranormal is that gray area. That's tough for him, which is fine. I don't push it on him. He doesn't ask about it, and we go along and marry. He doesn't stop playing VR long enough to know what I'm doing anyway. My youngest is definitely into it. Definitely into it. We did do one investigation with another family, and it was all we had a really good time, and he enjoyed it. But I think he was, he said, "Well, I see if you ever want to do another one." He said, "Well, maybe
Small
maybe later." Yeah. So I think it was enough that he was cool that he had that wow factor that he could tell people, "Yeah, I've been ghost hunting before."
Yeah, because
But
I've even brought them the Fort Weather roll, and Jackson, he can sense. I know he can sense because you can tell just the way he was looking into some of these like old parts of the fort. He was terrified, so he can definitely feel. Braden, him being on the spectrum as well. I don't know exactly what his gifts are, but he can definitely see because there's one part of the building we're in, the fort. He's like, I just saw a green dude walking up the stairs. I'm like,
oh, do you think he was somebody in like
I think it
like
was
a jumpsuit fatigue type thing
military.
or military? Yeah.
Because we were the only ones at the time in that particular spot, and it's an old World War I, World War II fort. And I just saw someone green walking up the stairs. I'm like, that was a ghost. You should have seen his face as soon as I told him, I was like, you just saw a ghost. That's so cool. He's like, no.
No, no, I didn't. I'm done. We're going home. I'll be in the car.
But yeah, that shit is real. I literally broke 3 rules and paid severe consequences for it. I still go alone though. I've been to Norwich alone. I've been to Elmcrest alone. I've been to Fairfield alone. I've been to Lakeville alone. I still go alone. But again, if there's any part of me that's remotely upset, triggered by something, I will not go. I actually just make sure I go when I'm in a good mood. Because even in groups, if you're in an upset mood, you're basically like throwing yourself into a shark infested pool and you're the one that's bleeding while everyone around you, if they're in a positive attitude, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Even though you're in numbers, you're basically saying like, come take me.
And so when you have that attachment, so when you're going back and you're feeling a kind of way, I think that was his energy. Think it was that you were feeling, or do you think that he was bringing your energy down?
He was just using me for my energy. So because he was zapping me so quick of my energy, it just was triggering the depression, the anxiety, the bad thoughts. It literally, because as soon as I left the house and I got away from my house, I'd be fine.
Interesting.
I
So
go
he didn't come
home.
with you.
No.
He stayed in your house.
He literally just wanted my
Huh.
energy.
But why? I wonder why he wouldn't travel with you.
I had all my computers and all that stuff right in that room, so he was just feeding off the energy of my computer. So my computer's always running, my TVs, my video games. I literally put him into like a supercharged room. So
Nice.
he was like in paradise. I wasn't, he was.
Wow, that's a lot. So these are things too, like, and I wonder, if they follow you like, I suppose they can follow you anyway. You don't have to be, in a state, in that that time of grief. They can probably, I would assume,
You
if
can
they
still be happy and get an attachment.
if they want to come to you.
When your energy is down, you're just that much easier.
Oh yeah, you're
It's basically kicking you while you're down type mentality.
Well, I think too, you're so focused on your grief that it's like you don't even see them coming up, coming up on you.
No, like I said, I went there, I got that TikTok that went semi-viral, and like I felt fine. The only thing though, like when I do replay that day in my head, because it was a shitty day, I do remember driving home and my phone was acting funny, which I have no good luck anywhere with my phones in haunted locations. This is why I never get to go live places. But I put on like one song, it would skip like 3, 4 songs by itself. My GPS would turn on and off by itself because I didn't have to use the GPS. I knew how to get back and forth from there because I've been there a few times. My phone's like turning itself on and off. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm like, shit. I kind of had a quick impression like someone just followed me home, but then I kind of like I stopped, and I remember too I didn't have stage, so I did grab myself before I left. I had my crystals on me, but the one thing I didn't do was sage. So, but that's because I couldn't put my lighter. I had sage on me, so I stopped at a gas station down the road, but I think it was kind of too late because the sage didn't do shit. And so as my phone's doing all this too, I felt like these, it kind of kept feeling like spiders and stuff crawling on my leg. So I got to the point where I pulled over, and because it's wintertime, so I'm wearing pants, so I'm like pulling down my pants on the side of the road, like looking for bugs and stuff. So it was old buildings, you don't know what it is.
Yeah,
And even though
sure.
it's cold, there's still bugs. So I'm like looking over my leg, there's nothing. But as soon as I get in my car and started driving again, I could feel like that creepy crawly feeling. It was nuts. Like, yeah.
I think things do like to follow you home. I think you do attract things because then and not necessarily. I mean, obviously this was in a bad way, but I think it can be not necessarily a bad thing. You were telling me, I'll never forget. You were telling me a story about leaving Wilson Castle with the Bluetooth, and on the stereo we were playing something through the Bluetooth, and it like stopped or something and said goodbye to you or started doing something.
Yeah, so that was the very first time I went to Wilson Castle. It was me, my cousin Nick, his whatever the hell she is now, I don't know, and Kaylin, my wife. And so it's me and Kaylin in the car leaving, and we're still within like a mile of the castle, and we're listening to, I don't know, maybe like Ozzy or something, and it stopped playing my Bluetooth and started like actually talking to us through the radio, saying like goodbye and stuff. I was like, what the hell? I was like, no, you can't follow me home. Go home. Like even Caitlin started going. She's like, nope, go back to the castle. Go back to the castle. Nuts. And it's not the first. Like it's happened a couple of times.
Well, I think about you telling me that story, and then however long afterwards, when I went up there for the first time with you, and we were leaving, and we had gotten into my truck, and my truck
Your
was
shit started acting
my
up.
truck was fairly new at the time, right? So I was like, whatever. And I don't think we had sprayed everything down. No, we hadn't. So we got in the truck, and we were again not too far away from the castle, and my whole infotainment center just went completely blank, and I was like, what just happened? And you looked at me, and I looked at you, I'm like, oh no. And then all of a sudden that whole Bluetooth story that you had told me like kicked into my head. I'm like, and you whipped the spray out, and I opened the back window, you started spraying everything. We're like, nope, you gotta stay here.
Yeah. And then I remember there was one time me and my cousin Nick had gone to the cemetery where the Warrens are buried. It was the Warrens. So we're like, we're gonna go see them. We're gonna go see them. And supposedly there's like a woman in white you can find here. Like that's why Lorraine like they're actually going there, I guess, too. And we're leaving, and the Bluetooth I have is like a very sturdy, like it's like the ones I plug into the ashtray, but I paid a lot of money for this one because how sturdy it is. The thing literally pops out of the cigarette lighter while we're listening to it, and then it starts playing like this weird Christian music.
Oh, interesting.
So we're like listening to like Slipknot on the way home, and then it just like rips out of my cigarette lighter, and then just starts playing Christian music because it ended up my normal radio ended up popping up on some like Christian radio somehow.
Well, no offense, but I'd change it not to.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, but it's just weird. Like, I think it's like $50-$60 adapter. That's how good this one was.
Well, I think the interesting thing, if
Like,
you
you
went
could
there, but
hold
if
it.
you went there specifically, because it's where the Warrens are, that is interesting, because she was very religious, very
That's the
religious.
same. That's exactly what we both said. Like, we literally pulled over and
She
started.
was probably like, listen, boys.
Yeah. Because we ended up pulling. We're on the highway. We ended up pulling over and like getting our phones ready to record. I think he had to go on Facebook Live just in case it had happened again. Because I was like, dude, look at this. I literally pushed it back in, and like I was like tapping on it. I was wiggling it, and the thing's not budging at all. I have to like literally rip this thing out. That's how good this one is, and it did it on its own. Yep.
Alrighty then.
Ghost magnet.
Ghost magnet.
There we go. That's a new YouTube.
You
name.
know-
Ghost magnet paranormal.
So,
Trademark it. No, you fucking steal it.
the ghosts like you. They definitely do. I remember the first time, I don't know, I think I had met you already at
Oh, I took a class. And
at Touch of Magic, but we were at SK, where I know you've been a million and one times, and I think did I have the? I think the Ovilus? No. I don't think
No,
I
you're talking
had
about
the
Wilson.
Ovilus one.
Wilson.
No, it wasn't Wilson. It was SK, and they were literally asking for you. They were asking for. They kept saying Brad.
Oh, I wasn't with
Brad.
you there.
You weren't with me, no. But and then
Well, because you mentioned the Ovilus, so
Yeah, no.
I think of the first time we went to Wilson together. As soon as I held that Ovilus, the thing started going nuts. And you're like, I've never seen this thing work. I thought I just bought a broken piece of shit. 'Cause you
I know.
you hated it then.
I was so mad. Well, because I never got. Well, so, I think it was the Ovilus at SK kept saying Brad, and I thought there is no relevance, right? So what is this thing doing? And I was so angry with it, and I didn't until we went to Wilson. I thought I had.
A defective device.
I thought I had like just lit $500 on fire.
Yeah, because I'm like holding it and they're chatting away through it. And you're like, I've never seen this thing work. I thought it was a defective.
And then up at Wilson, then it started getting relevant stuff. We started getting. Remember you saying that you thought there was a portal in the kitchen, and there's that built-in in the kitchen. And I took the Ovilus and I went and I just set it down on the counter on the built-in, and as soon as it made contact with it, it said portal. And I was like, well, there you go. And we got a lot of religious speak out of it, and a lot of money, talk about money.
Yeah, because there's something, they do think there's something hidden somewhere that's got some money in it. No one's been able to find it. Who knows, maybe one day I'll
Do you
get it.
think there's a finder's fee?
Yeah. Andy, Denise, there's a finder's fee. You guys hear or see this? I haven't seen this. Only 3%. You can keep the rest. 3% of the cheap date. I'll do the work. I just want the fame.
You just want the fame. That's fair. That's fair.
But we'll have to save these for like different podcasts.
Yeah,
Wilson,
we've got
Conjuring.
stories. Conjuring House, Wilson Castle, Penhurst. Oh, Penhurst. We could talk about Penhurst for.
Because there's so much shit that we go through at these locations that never see the light of day on video because you can't catch everything.
Yeah, not everything transfers well to video. So there's definitely sometimes there's that bummer, when you're trying to put stuff together, and I'm sure that that hits you when you sit down and edit and you've got hours and hours and hours, and you're like, but I really didn't have much to put, because sometimes it just doesn't.
Well, it makes it easier when you're trying to keep it to a certain time frame too. But at the same time though, it's crazy because like I'll go through our footage and like within the first hour we have like 50 good EVPs, and like these TV shows go to like these locations for a week, and on average you have like what, 5 good EVPs for a 45-minute session? It's just nuts, like the night and day difference of like evidence we get. It's our energy, man.
I think it's you.
It's our
Oh, well, definitely as a group, I like our energy as a group 100%, but I think you're a little Energizer Bunny. What are you doing over there?
Trying to make the people watching this shit live have a laugh or two.
Oh my goodness. He's yeah. Okay.
Can't take him anywhere.
I can't, no. You can dress him up, but you can't take him out.
End up on camera from our locations is probably a good thing.
Yeah, probably. Well, you're in charge of that.
I could throw some blue.
Oh, don't you dare. I can only imagine the horrible things you have.
James tells me he has some good ones.
I'm excited to go back there.
Oh my god, me too. I didn't think we could go back this soon. That's like the quickest turnaround I've ever had with a location.
Yeah. Yeah, that is pretty quick.
We just went 2 weeks ago, and now we're going again October 8th.
Yeah, so
like
that's
almost a month apart.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the plus side about that though too is the intelligent spirits that already have me and your like our imprints.
True.
We'll have to warm them up to Chris, because Chris wasn't there the first time.
I think they'll warm up pretty quick to him though.
But us already being familiar with home,
Mm-hmm.
and then we gotta get a time that all 4 of us go, because first time Chris missed out, second time Allison's missing out.
Well, 3rd time's a charm.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll get there. Maybe next spring.
We can want to get our feet wet again next spring.
It's gonna start getting cold, but it's all right. We've got lots of indoor stuff coming up for the colder weather.
USS Salem,
Salem,
Shanley Hotel,
Shanley. Oh, I'm excited for that.
Hinsdale House.
Hinsdale, man. Hinsdale's actually, it's the thought of Hinsdale. I don't know why, but it actually creeps me out. You know where I think it was Dawn from the Salem. I think it was him, and if it's not him, I'm so sorry for misrepresenting who said it. But you know, somebody that's like around this stuff on a daily basis. I'm almost positive it was him, but he had said, yeah, he's like, man, there's something dark out there that made his hair stand up on end.
Yeah, because I've heard from a good amount of people. I mean, I've been on so many freaking paranormal shows too, like Paranormal Lockdown with Nick Roth and Katrina and stuff, but I didn't, it was Steve and Dylan said they went, and it was quiet.
Huh.
So, it's like any other locations, they hit or miss.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, ghost hunting is basically fishing. It's fishing.
Yeah.
You're gonna get your kippers one day, and then the next day you're gonna get your big mouth or big old trout.
Big old trout.
Big old trout.
Well, I think we will go ahead and stick the coffin nail, or stick the nail in the coffin or something.
This episode.
Trying to make a little witty comment here, and it's not working. It's late. My brain and mouth don't always work together either.
That's what she said.
Oh no! You worked one end, didn't ya?
That's what she said.
Ah! All right, I'm not gonna talk anymore.
That's what she said.
Okay, so yeah, this is a thing with him. This is a thing.
That's what she said.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us. We hope you found some interesting pieces out of here. And remember, do not go into locations alone. Do not go when you are grieving, mad, angry, feeling a kind of way. And man, don't take stuff home. And if you do, bring it in, because I want to see it.
Yeah, just bring it right to
Bring it right to me.
My new thing though is bricks. I just have this nice white bricks from each location. I got one from Penhurst, I got one from Eastern State Penitentiary.
Shh. No, he doesn't.
I do, on my shelf.
This is all imaginary. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, and I'm gonna try to not have it be 6 months till the next one.
We'll be trying to do this every other week.
All right, thanks for hanging.
Sorry for the sniffles there. So who's on TikTok that wants to chat real quick?
Oh goodness.
Anybody on TikTok got some questions for us that you want us to answer for you guys live?
Matt was on there. He's like 10 days till Wilson. Yeah.
Yes, I am fucking excited for that one.
Yeah, I have 4 people on here, and one of them is my iPad. So.
Hi, 3 people watching us. Thank you. Big heart.
Big heart. Mwah. Oh God, my ears are sweating.
Mm-hmm.
My ears are sweating. The only thing I hope that vent doesn't screw us up.
Usually it's your sniffling that I'm trying to
Matt's both on YouTube and here.
Yes! Matt, you're fucking awesome. I'll make sure you're with me at Wilson, because I know that's what you want. I know we still got to figure out how to do that, too. Oh, yeah. So those who are watching, if any of you are going to Wilson, we kind of came up with a cool concept. There's going to be 4 of us, but one of them is bringing a few of her own friends, Allison. Actually, a few of the tickets were her group. So we're going to let Allison and her friends go off and do their own thing, leaving me, Heather, and Chris to basically lead the other, 19 minus 3, 16 now, basically. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have a suite, what do they call suites, right? Cards? Like clubs. Spades.
Oh, suits.
Suits. I don't play fucking cards much. We're gonna have a suit, so like I'll probably be like spades, Heather be like clubs, whatever, and we're gonna have all the other guests basically draw cards and whatever suit they get. That was Chris's idea.
That's smart.
That's kind of cool. So that way we don't even know who we're gonna have in our group. We don't know. So the first 3 hours are gonna be structured. It's gonna be the first 3 hours gonna be structured. So like we'll have, say like I start on the first floor of my group, Chris second floor with his group, Heather third floor with her group. We'll stay there for an hour. Like you all get, because these floors are fucking huge, and an hour will go by really quick on them. Then we're gonna rotate. So from like whatever, then we're gonna rotate. So that way all 3 groups with their constructed groups get an hour each floor, and then from the last 3 hours, because the general admission one's 6 to 12, so the first few hours will be the constructed one, and then like the last 3 hours we're gonna let you guys free roam. We'll investigate with you if you want us to, or just stay out of your hair, help you, whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, Kelly, so this is September 24th, so it's a week and a half away, coming
Next
up
Saturday.
soon. The information is all on my website. It's all on hauntedemporium.com. Right on the landing page, when you get there, you'll see the castle, and you buy the tickets through
Your website.
through that link, through the website. You'll click the link. You'll be taken away from my website to a ticketing.
There's only 3 tickets left.
But yeah, we've only got 3 spaces left for the sleepover, for the overnight, and I'm excited.
So I'm really fucking excited about this. I don't even care if it sells out. It is my favorite location, and it is National Ghost Hunting Day. It is literally the official kickoff to spooky season in America's most haunted castle.
Yeah, this castle's just, it's.
I wouldn't plan on sleeping. Like, you could try to go to sleep.
Oh, I'm sleeping. So throwing this out there because
I'm saying you can try to go to sleep, but they'll fuck with you. You know that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna try, because the first time we went,
we were almost falling asleep driving home.
It was bad, yeah, because it's a 3-hour drive. So, and I definitely need to get some sleep.
Well, I'm gonna try too. But
I'm a cranky bitch if I don't sleep.
But what I'm saying is, spirits might not want.
Yeah, so Kelly, check it out. Check it out, definitely.
If you want to kind of see it too.
Such an experience, and you don't need to have any any level of experience. That's somebody had reached out to me and said, "Oh, I didn't know if you would want somebody who's never been ghost hunting before."
Oh yeah, noobs,
Yeah,
veterans, everybody. Just people that want to have ghost hunt and have a good time.
And because we'll be there, so you don't need to bring any equipment. You bring yourself an air mattress or a cot or something to sleep on. A little cooler maybe with some snacks in it. And yeah, that's it. That's all you need. That's all that's required. And we will bring the rest.
Yeah, we're gonna have our gear.
All the gear will be there.
Which you should definitely bring yours so we have more of.
Oh no, I'm 100% gonna bring all my stuff too.
Yeah, because we all have basically the same stuff, which would be perfect. Because if there's 3 groups leading everything, we all have the same stuff. The only thing we don't have 3 of is an SLS, so I'll just leave that at home so no one's fighting over it.
There you go. That works.
You can download GhostTube on your phone. It's free. I think they're like $10 for the year, and it's basically turn your phone into an SLS. I don't.
If you
fully
have
buy it,
no, so
but
here's.
I have gotten some coherent
So
stick figure shit.
yeah, but you've probably got the phone that can use. So any phone can download that, but it needs the phones with the LiDAR capabilities to truly work. Otherwise, it's just mapping shapes. It doesn't really, it can't really pick it up. But the phones with the LiDAR, so if your phone can do like that augmented reality kind of thing, that's when it works. So some of the newer, I think
basically any of the new droids
the newer
for the last like 2 years.
Yeah.
Because I was using it on my old phone that was 2 years ago, and that's when we got stuff at Leshworth that was actually pretty coherent.
That's cool.
I don't fully always buy it yet, but I don't buy the actual SLS either.
You can't fully buy anything. You've got to.
You gotta have multiple pieces of evidence.
Yeah, it's gotta keep.
The only thing that's usually concrete is EVPs or disembodied voices.
Yes, I agree there.
When it comes to visuals, unless you have something else with it. That's why my favorite SLS moment, it was actually at the Conjuring house. We were in the basement. It was the second time I stayed there. And we're in the basement, and it's picking up like a child, about the size of a child on the pipes on the ceiling. I'm like, there's no way this should be false mapping a fucking person on pipes. Because yeah, it will do chairs. Anything that can almost resemble a person. So graffiti, chairs, because we almost all have the same outline. Not pipes. Not straight pipes. No. And as the stick figure's popping up, I'm like, oh, hello, who's there? You hear like a kid's voice say, hello. At the same time. So that's my favorite SLS moment ever.
Yeah. That's funny. A lot of people ask me, they're like, oh, do you have an SLS? I'm like, no. I watch people struggle with them. I watch them malfunction and not work all the time.
You mine? You're always thinking
it's not just you. No, it's not just you.
James' house, though, was all user error.
Literally anybody.
The batteries were dead.
Oh, well.
That was user error that time.
That's no bueno.
But yeah, I've gone to places and my SLS will be recording, and as soon as I pan to like one area of a room or whatever, it fries the whole thing. It's like someone, like, they don't want to be seen, they will shut that shit off.
Bonnie had hers, she had something like come up on her and blew it out, and it just, like the whole thing just went dead.
Like a candle. I remember her telling me that.
Yeah.
Like a candle.
Blew it out like it was a candle.
That was at Oliver House.
Oh, was it? I didn't remember where. Oh yeah, yes, it was Oliver House.
So she said she turned it back on and again it went. They were trying to blow out like a candle and it shut it off on her.
Oh.
So she said after the second time she didn't even try. So yeah. But my favorite piece, I don't care, REM pod, hands down. REM pods.
Well, REM pods, and this is what I'll tell people the difference. So they both, Matt would like to know if you were bringing your portal with you.
I mean, you got one.
I got a big one that needs to be plugged in.
Well, there's outlets at it.
You have a little one though, don't you?
No, I have a bigger one, but I made it fully portable.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll bring. You talking about
Yours
the one
is-
at Hartsuff?
You had one at Hard Stuff?
I brought the portable Hartsuff. No, I didn't. I had my Radio Hack Shack radio. I didn't have the portal.
I was gonna say, I haven't seen your portal out anywhere. I've never seen your
Conjuring
portal in.
I used it at the Conjuring House. You remember it turned on by itself while we were downstairs in the basement?
Oh, yeah.
We had shut it off before we went to do the basement session, and we had that moment of quiet, and we could all hear it from upstairs.
Mhm.
Someone turned it on upstairs. But yeah, I'll take my. Someone was gonna buy it from me, so I did pack it up and basically get ready for UPS, but they haven't paid for it, so yeah, I'll use it. I do like the portal.
Does Chris have one?
No.
No, so it wasn't his. It wasn't his.
Warner probably had his portal at one point, I think, at Hartsuff.
Oh, well, okay. So that would be it.
But yes, I do have basically the same thing. I'll bring mine.
Alright, well. I got here at 9:30 this morning and it's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I've been up since 5. Pumping shit for a living, man.
Pumping shit, man.
I may pump shit, but I might not take it. That was good.
Trying to get your daughter to go to Wilson. Oh, do it!
Who?
Do it! Kelly's on here. Yes. Oh, it's yeah.
Didn't Steve say he was supposed to be buying one for his girlfriend? Because she wanted to go now too? I haven't seen him buy a second ticket. Unless it did and slipped through the cracks.
I don't know. Yeah, because I think there's only three
There's only 3 left.
tickets left.
Honestly, I was shocked after 10. Because at Hartsuff, we only had 8 tickets out of like 20 sell. So the fact that we just doubled our numbers is just, I'm thankful for every single person that bought a ticket.
Yeah.
Because all of the money is
It all
going
goes
to
to
the
the
castle,
castle, yeah.
for the most part.
Because they need
The roof, which
they did
Missy's-
really good. They've done. I mean, they still need a lot more work to do, but
oh yeah,
they've
because
done
he
it.
was telling me just like one part of the roof between like them using the escalator to go up and down and stuff like that. It's just like $3,000 just for one part of the roof. So Missy's group that raised like what, 2,600? That basically bought like one big section of the roof. Me, you, Chris, and Allison went April. They weren't even gonna charge me anything really to go, and I just gave them like $900. Well, the combined from all of us.
Yeah, these places, they need, you know, all the help that they can get, because it's to maintain and to maintain them accurately and historically, these places, you can't, you know, you've got to bring in people that know how to work with these materials and artisans and.
Oh yeah, it's not like just
Because
a
there's
standard,
I think it's a slate roof up there at
Oh,
Wilson,
yeah.
so.
it's not a standard like patch up or
It's-
you're good. You
yeah.
have to have like top-notch professionals that know that specific type of material.
Yeah,
Some locations you could get away with like modern fixer-uppers, like Hartsuff might be able to. But again, that's another one that needs help. That's why we did the event there.
yeah,
And he's got a bunch of good ones coming up.
yeah. They'll be doing, I think the only bummer part is like, I know a lot of the places are streaming and doing like this whole live thing, for the, you know, the 24th, the largest ghost hunt.
You gotta
It's
pay
hard
that.
and, you have to pay?
I'm
To
pretty sure
stream?
you to be one of the official things, I think you have to like do
Yeah.
some kind of contribution or something like that. Like I think you buy into it.
Oh, no.
And then like people like charge their fans like a certain fee to watch their streams. They get like a stream code or whatever. It's bullshit, to be honest, to me. If I'm gonna do something for Ghost Hunt Day, I'm gonna fucking do whatever the hell I want. I'm not having some organization tell me how to do it. I am gonna go live and let people watch whatever happens happen. Last year I was at SK for it, and that was what I was gonna do, but I just ended up just saying screw it and doing it by myself.
Where was I last year? That day.
You probably working.
No, I haven't opened the store yet. September 24th. I was somewhere.
Well, it's not always the 24th. It's the fourth or last Saturday. Yeah, fourth Saturday in September, basically. So I think last year was like the 26th-ish. It's almost around the same date, but it's the fourth Saturday of September. Yeah, it's me, Marsha, and Caitlin for SK. I was gonna go home, but
Yeah, I feel like I was somewhere. I just don't know where I was.
I have a bad habit of going places alone.
Yes, you do.
I like the adrenaline rush.
Which is fine. I don't judge you for it. I worry. I have that mama bear instinct. It's
You
like
could throw me in any
worry
location,
about
anytime, alone, and I won't freaking do it. I'm still surprised I did Penhurst Infirmary alone for like 10 minutes until they screamed the fuck out of me, but
Shh. Didn't happen.
assholes.
I had nothing to do with that, so don't group me into that assholes category.
And yes, again, thank you for those that jumped on and watched us live. We were just gonna record this as a standard podcast, but I was like, you know what? Whoever's willing to watch it live. So, because we were thinking about maybe doing this like every other week or so, like a bi-weekly, once a month type thing.
Yeah. So I mean, if there's
An audience for it.
if there's an audience for it, if there's topics that you're interested in,
Because we could plan this
Anything.
we could plan this better. Because this was last minute. I totally messaged Heather yesterday. I was like,
hey,
let's do a fucking podcast. I was like, you already have one going, I have one going, but let's do this for yours. Let's build yours up. I said, we've been to so many locations together. I've been to so many locations alone. We have so many freaking stories. I was like, so in between you finding other guests, because you've done Misty from Paranormal 5, which is the one that helped raise money for Wilson that we were just talking about. What else have you done so far? I think that's it. No, you did like two. You only did like 2 or 3 so far, right?
I've got
'Cause I've listened
3.
to them.
I've got 3 up on that I've done.
So I figured it's, instead of waiting until you can always get a load of other guests, let's just tell our own stories.
So Matt just said he was playing with his mel meter and it kept going to 666. Do you mean temperature? Was it the temperature that
No,
was doing it, or the EMF reader?
And where the hell are you playing with that's getting 666? At home? I tell you now, don't always jump
The
right
temperature? So the temperature,
That seems about right.
I mean, it's
dropped
most
it down to
rooms.
70 when I first came here, and that was like an hour and a half ago. And it's been hitting like 50, 55 degrees at nighttime.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry about the temp part. I would worry if your milligauss starts reading 666.
Yeah, that would be super high.
Well, it's not super high, but the
Oh, I
fact that
think-
they're purposely making the EMF go to 666,
So
they can fuck with you.
I
That's what I'm
know,
saying.
but
Don't always jump right to Sage either. Sometimes Sage makes things worse. If anybody's watching this and your shit really is haunted, the best thing you could do is have a really good spirit medium go in there and basically do a walkthrough. Don't go pushing buttons because you can make it worse. That's why I don't do residential investigations yet, and that's why I'm working on my mediumship, because I would love to, yes, one day be able to go and help, and not have to call people in, So you keep working on your shit too.
yeah,
And Chris is working on his demonology, so we can do residential.
we could do it.
Oh yeah.
But what the heck was I just gonna say? My brain just shut down.
We were talking about the 666.
Oh, yeah, I don't believe in the devil. So
I don't believe in the devil or God. I will say that. I do believe in angels and demons as some form of more powerful type entities, but literally Lucifer and God, because that's the only fucking demon he has for some weird reason. I don't believe in them. I do believe in like master type creators of the universe, because yes, somewhere.
oh, there's.
started this
I'm
shit.
not saying that there's not like energies out there. That there's not some
aliens.
that there's well, not even aliens, but I'm not saying that
Well, what
there's
I'm saying is,
not like
to me, aliens basically are what's on here. What we're literally the fucking Sims for games.
that's entirely possible. I could
That's why they're.
I would not be
the
shocked.
Matrix theory is so believable to me. Blah blah blah. But so yes, actual Lucifer and God themselves, no. Angels and demons, yes, but not particular mainly as angels and demons, but forms of whatever is out there that sent us down here, basically.
But I definitely believe that there's energies in the earth within like on earth. Like there are energies out there like elementals and stuff like
absolutely.
that.
Because they're like protectors of the lands in certain areas, and some are even protectors of that location. Like there's elementals at the Conjuring house. There's elementals at James' house, the church.
The church. Chris was so funny.
Dude, I fucking saw a UFO over there.
I didn't get outside fast enough, so.
No, and I had my phone inside playing the freaking music. So by the time I realized what the hell we're watching, and ran and got my phone and got back out, the thing was basically gone. So me, Chris, and Kaylin went outside. We went out for a cigarette break, get fresh air, because this church was heavily screwing with me, Kaylin, and Chris. And we look up, and you can see satellites, because it was during the meteor shower too, so we would see the meteorites. And I'm looking, and I see this thing going by like slow speed, and Kaylin's like, "Is that a meteor?" And I was like, "No, that's a plane." And then it stops.
Which planes don't do that?
And it goes another direction. I'm like, satellite? But no, because even satellites have their direct path that they're pre-programmed to do. And then it goes back the other way. And I'm like, can you just come fucking abduct us? Because at this
Not me.
And then it goes back to it's centered again. And I went another way. And then I went back and centered, like right above the church. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I ran in and I got that one picture, because my phone's got that 100 times zoom. So I was hoping that I could get the picture to zoom in enough. And as soon as I took the picture, the thing's gone. Okay, so everybody's like, well, why didn't you get it on video? You could have sent that in the Fright Club. I'm like, well, because
it was gone.
It was gone, and I didn't have my phone on me fast enough.
Yeah, it happens.
But that was 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, a fucking UFO.
Alright. I'm just going to have to take your word for it. So by the time I get out there.
Chris and Kaylin's are too. So at least I'm not alone on that one.
Oh, hi,
I totally forgot Suki was over there.
Oh, Suck! You scared him!
Spooked me. But yeah, we should probably get going.
Yeah.
She's probably freaking like, bitch, let's go.
Oh, she's all done.
That's probably why she jumped off the couch to make her presence known.
Yeah, she's all done.
So, alright.
Alright, well, thank you guys for joining us. We'll,
So for those that watch our YouTube too, I'll throw this out real quick too. I'm probably going to be starting school again for some shit soon, so I am going to do James' house, and then, not James' house, sorry, a quick video with the church, because you're the only one that set a camera up that night. Me and Chris were totally thrown off and didn't even set up cameras, so I don't want to record like a whole 45-minute episode of just one angle, so I'll try to just basically cherry pick the better moments from that night.
yeah, well, you might have, I don't know, with the audio too, how much it picks up.
Yeah, the mic seemed pretty good from what I was kind of doing, like a quick review. And then there was like one point, like when shit actually started getting good, your infrared light above the camera kind of died down, so it's kind of harder to see everything. So yeah. I'm basically going to cherry pick the better moments from the church and kind of do a smaller video with that. And then because we're going back to James' house in a couple of weeks with Chris, I'm not going to work on James' house 1 yet, because I kind of find a cool way to do like a part 1, part 2
together.
Well, not in one, but like a cool like part 1 and part 2, like the James house, and then return to James, kind of like and then set it up for like a trilogy type thing. And then
a trilogy. We're going back a third time? Oh, yeah, third, never mind. Stop, I got it. I'm here. I'm here. We just talked about this, yes. I'm
James'
here.
house kills with Halloween. No, I was kidding. So I'll find a cool way to set that up as a trilogy. And this is what I'm talking about. We've never been able to do one specific type of editing, or I haven't been able to, because it's like every location is
Ends up
like,
being different.
no, this is the way I want it done. So I kind of work with what I'm given. Even though we basically always record the same way, and we always set up the same way, what happens is never the same. And so, like I said, I want to start going back to school for a couple weeks for things, and then I do want to do some actual online classes too on better editing. So I do kind of want to take the winter off. So I think after Shanley and Hinsdale, I'm gonna save those.
There's a lot of them, yeah.
Well, I want to save those
Okay.
locations for when I'm better at editing.
I hear you.
And Salem, yes. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how Salem goes. We don't know yet.
Sure.
So we'll see how those go. But I definitely want to save Shanley and Hinsdale for like when I get like better editing techniques down. Who knows? Maybe they're really awesome that night too, and I'm just like, fuck it. We'll put them all right there and then. But I do want to do some editing classes, and then I'm gonna go for my realtor's license, and that takes about, I think they said a month on average to, with all the classes and shit. So that's gonna eat up some time. So yeah, I might just do some filler videos on YouTube now for now, so you guys don't have anything not to watch, because I have like locations from my other YouTube channel that aren't on this one. I have some that I deleted that I could throw back on because I let
You got stuff.
I let my hot-headed, well, as people burn me, I'm like, why should I still keep these videos up? Like,
Oh, yeah, you did.
so I
throw away
deleted
a whole bunch of stuff.
so like, and some of those videos had some really good shit in it. I'm not talking about editing wise. I'm talking about like actual like
Footage, like
moments.
evidence.
And that's another thing too. I'm done calling it evidence.
Okay.
I am done.
What is
You
it?
can call it evidence.
Okay, what is it?
It's,
What is it?
For me, it is what it is. It's our paranormal moments and our paranormal captures. I know the fucking paranormal is real. I'm not out to prove it's real. You either believe it or you don't. I'm not gonna sit there and fight for people to believe it. I'm just gonna go, and we're gonna go and have fun, and I'm just gonna share it as moments, like basically our adventures,
Our paranormal moments, our paranormal.
like our captures, our moments, our adventures. Like, I'm done calling it evidence, because, and that's another thing too, the paranormal freaking community and everybody that wants to be a ghost hunter is so fucking huge now. Why do we have to keep calling it evidence? Like, it's probably like the number one hobby out there now, besides sports. Look, every time you go on TikTok now, it's this person catching this and that off their their door alarm. This person catching this stuff off their.
Oh, there's cameras everywhere now.
That's what I'm saying. Why does it have to be called evidence? There's so much fucking proof that the paranormal is real. Why does it have to be evidence? Why can't it just be like, oh, look at this cool capture, look at this cool moment? Like, evidence to me is just overplayed. Like, that word. It's just a word I think is kind of irritating.
Well, habitually, I'm not going to be able to stop calling it evidence.
No, I know. It's programmed in your head.
It is.
And I'm still going to probably stop saying, oh, look at this cool evidence. But, like, to me, there's no point of proving it anymore. It's totally real.
Well, I'm not looking to prove.
Usually when people
But
like,
so here's the thing, though. I've
old
never.
School, like, hardcore.
I'm not out to prove it to any, like, because I know it's real. Like, you either believe or you don't. You do you, boo. It doesn't.
Yeah, but you know, the old school ones are like basically veterans compared to us. Like, oh yeah, you need hard scientific evidence. Like, what?
Well, everybody does it differently. Some
Which I
people
try to
are.
respect, and I get, but I'm just done calling it evidence. I want to have just straight fun with it. No trying to prove anything. Like, just go what I want to keep doing. Like go to a location. Whoever wants to fucking talk, you talk. You're allowed to talk while I'm there. You're not allowed to follow me home, or you, or Chris, or Allison. Just talk while we're there. Just tell your story, like basically just paranormal stories.
I get it.
Who knows? Maybe if I take winter off and I could totally redirect the YouTube into finding a way to make it more like a kind of like a book but for videos. You know what I'm saying? Like turning those like almost like a story telling like chapters, like a book, but for video. See, like that just came to my fucking head. That was totally cool. I think that's a cool concept. Find a way to make each one almost like an actual book, and then you like turn the page, and then it turns into that video of that location.
Okay, we gotta go home.
Yes. I'm getting sleepy.
Good night, all.
But that is cool. That would be cool. Like a cool intro, basically. I guess. I don't know. Who's still watching? You like that? You like that cool horror story type telling thing? I can't get this lamp off Andy. There we go. Is this phone even still on?
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
it's on.
Bye! I don't even know how to stop this thing. Because I never get to go live.